You are tuned in to online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our program this afternoon. I missed you last week. This afternoon program is about weight loss. So we know that a lot of people have challenges in this area of weight loss. But what we're going to do this afternoon is we're going to talk with someone who's taken this journey a slightly different route than most people. It's not about, what type of diet and how long you stay on the diet and counting the calories and all that stuff. But today we're going to talk about lifestyle adjustments. I'm not going to say change because people don't like the word change. So we're going to go with the word lifestyle adjustment. Based on the things that you eat and when you eat, how much you eat, but more so based on what you eat, what you decide to put in your mouth. We talk a lot about that. So this afternoon, I am going to welcome Stacey Gordon, my friend. She have a testimony to share with us this afternoon. Welcome, Stacey. I'm gonna get. We only have 30 minutes. I'm gonna give you the time to talk about your journey, your lifestyle change. Well, I said we're not gonna use the word change. Your lifestyle adjustment. Stacey, so start by telling us, how you began on this journey. What was life like before you got on this journey? And then you're also going to share with us like how much weight you lost and how long it took to lose it, and I'm going to ask you some questions in between. So, welcome, Stacey, to the program this afternoon. You return to better health. And I have a T-shirt on today that says "you," and it is about you. It depends on what you decide to do for you. Nobody else is going to do it. It depends on what you decide to eat, what you decide to drink, and how much and how often. It all depends on you, what you put into your body. So, Stacey, start by telling us about your journey.
Yes, thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm always the people don't think I'm fat, but I do. So I'm always the fat girl. I'm always the fat sister. I grew up with a very skinny mother whose nickname was Bones. I grew up with skinny sisters and cousins. And I was the little chubby one in the middle. And I grew pretty much like that. So my weight has been up and down a lot. So I've been on many weight loss journeys and weight loss changes, but being in my 30s posed a big challenge for me where I found it very difficult to lose weight. So in 2019, I would jokingly tell people that I'm a Snicker bar away from 200 pounds, but it was no joke. If I ate a Snicker bar, I would have been 200 pounds, seriously. And so I
Wow.
didn't eat poorly, I thought. I really didn't eat poorly. I always watched my carb intake. Um, I ate pretty good, but for some reason, I just kept gaining weight and I did not really keep up with my exercise regimen. I will start and then fall off the wagon a lot. But it was nothing for me to have been piling on pounds to the point where I was getting to my heaviest. I don't even think I was 200 pounds when I was pregnant with my son. So I remember singing on my church choir, and the church choir had started a WhatsApp group, and they posted a video of the choir singing. And I'm 5'8" and was much taller than most of the people on the choir. And I just looked like the big tall girl. And I did not like the way how I looked. I did not like the way I felt, and I did not like the way I looked. I just really in my own body, in my own skin, just did not feel great. So um, when they the challenge came at church by our health and temperance leader, Sister Beverly, to do a to do a 30-day Daniel's fast. I was like, well, I'm in, because what's another weight loss challenge for me, right? And I was willing to try, and I was eager to try, and I was ready, just because I was tipping the
You said it was
scale and
21
I did
days?
not feel great. Huh? Say
21
that
days?
again. It was 21 days. Okay, it
21
was
days?
21 days, and 21 days became months. So it was a 21-day challenge. He said, okay, 21 days. Um, and I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. I've heard and listened to the Seventh-day Adventist health message many times, which encourage a vegan diet, and nobody was more anti-vegan than I am, and I should say, because I could not see giving up jerk chicken and brown stew chicken. I could not see giving up oxtail. Are you kidding me? No, I could not see giving all of that up. I'm a big milk drinker. Growing up, I drank the most of that cow's milk in the house. And my mother always said that that's why I was the thick one, because I was the one drinking all the milk, because my brothers and sisters did not like drinking milk. So I I actually refuse to eat what I call tree bark, which is the veggie chunks and stuff that I've seen them eat at my church for years, especially when you do the church potlucks. It will, because at that time it seemed like my options being on that diet was veggie chunks, which I call tree bark, or a whole plate of lettuce, and I was not going to do that. But I was at my wit's end, so I decided to join in the 21-day Daniel's fast. I went in wholeheartedly, and to my surprise,
Well, you know what?
I
One
was
correction there.
enjoying
It
it.
wasn't really a fast. You know, because fasting, people get the idea that fasting means you have to stay away from food. But,
Correct.
this challenge was more you eating food. You just eat an abundance of all the good food, and,
Correct. But for
kind of
me,
like
it would have been a
the
fast
21 days,
away
don't eat the
from
stuff that is going to
meat
make you,
products.
heavy.
Right. So for me, it was a fast away from animal products. That's what I consider. So when I thought about a fast, I didn't think of it as not having food for a long time. It was going to be an abstinence of um, animal products, which would have been a
Yeah.
challenge for me. Like I said, because I love my oxtail. I really, really do. So I started researching different meals. I wanted to make my meals fun, and I wanted to make my food taste good. And to my surprise, I'm actually a pretty good vegan chef. So I had everyone in the house eating
So
my
how do
vegan
you
meals.
do you think that it was difficult, like the 21 days? How, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how hard was that adjustment for that 21 days?
I would say 4, because, like I said, I didn't eat poorly before. I've already cut a lot of sugar from my diet. And I actually found the
Mm.
Daniel fast diet a lot easier than the previous year. The previous January, I tried the JLo diet, which was no sugar, no a whole lot of stuff, and I struggled. And I did not struggle as much with this Daniel's fast diet. So it was no refined
Yeah.
sugar, no processed foods, and The truth is, I needed to be away from that stuff anyway because I was having a lot of food allergies. So I welcomed the challenge. I did not expect to lose the amount of weight
Did
that
you
I
say you
lost.
were having a lot of food allergies?
I was, yes, I was. It
It went
turns
away?
out that it didn't go away. I just know what to stay away from now. All the processed foods.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of those potato chips and store bought stuff contains sunflower oil, and I have an issue with
Mm-hmm.
sunflower. So now I know that. And
Mm.
that came from isolating my food groups. Now, because I cut the processed foods, I realized I was having issues with those types of things. So just removing that from my
Mm-hmm.
diet and see how much my body responded positively. I recognize some of the issues that I was having, and still I'm still having
Right.
them.
Right.
But now I found different options and choices um, to my eating, which does not include all those processed foods that are not good for me. So it's a lot of
Right.
preservatives that is added in this food because of the Daniel's fast. That because of that 21-day um, diet, I've learned to cook everything that I put in my mouth. Because if I don't prepare it myself, if I bought it on the street,
And that's
if
so
I
important.
bought some veggie burgers, it's so much things, it's so much ingredients that are added that to me are not necessary
Yeah.
because the things I prepare at home from mostly plant-based ingredients taste just as great or better. It's just
Yeah.
taking the
So
time
so there's a
to
lot of people
prepare.
who might be interested in trying something like the 21-day Daniel challenge, um, but they may not be like cooks or anything like that. Do you have any thoughts about like preparing things, like how hard it is to prepare foods that are,
Absolutely.
wholesome but taste good?
Absolutely. 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 So if you just can't cook, period, I don't even know what to say. You have to start learning. So you have to be willing and ready to learn. YouTube has a lot of support for you and it's free. And you don't have to like everything that you all the recipes that you see. Most of them are video recipes versus you reading and executing a dish. You get to follow along with people. You get to change different parts of what they're doing. You can say, okay,
Mm,
I'm not a big fan of mushrooms, so I will omit the
right.
mushroom from this, you know, and you're able to. I've combined two, three different versions of a dish and made it something
Mm,
different and make it I made it to my liking. I recognize and I know a lot of the Rastafarian way of cooking and their culture. I They call it the ITIL cooking. I realize I love ITIL food actually because I love that whole coconut flavored taste. So I do that a lot
so
in
can
my
you can you can
vegetables.
you tell the listeners like um, how much weight did you lose on this cooking your ITO food?
So I actually lost 30 pounds. I lost so much weight
Wow.
that I was too skinny. I when people start,
Wow.
when black people start telling you, I saw a joke the other day. I saw somebody post something that hopefully I'm politically correct to say that. They said some, Caucasian people were like, "Oh my God, what have you been doing? You look great. Oh, you've lost some weight." When your own black people see you, they feel like, "Oh, yeah, you've lost some weight. Don't lose anymore, okay?" That's a whole different. So I was at the point where people were telling me, "Don't lose any more weight." I had to, I tried taking a few selfie, and my face was so small, and I I was so successful that I increased my food intake in an attempt to gain some weight back. Now, when has that ever happened? Never, ever, never, never in my life before now.
Never, ever, ever.
So
Not to me.
it
Wow.
can happen
That
to
I mean
you with a
that is
plant-based
awesome. That
diet, I
and that
promise.
goes to show you that you can really, you know, do things without the extreme of going on a diet plan and you have to follow something strict and every day and you counting calories and all that stuff. And which is why I talk about the lifestyle adjustment, right?
Hmm.
Just deciding that I'm not gonna put the bad things in my body like the saturated fat and all that stuff. I'm gonna make some changes in what processed foods I eat. I'm gonna make some changes in how the fried foods I eat. Where I buy my food from. I'm gonna make some changes in you know the
Yes.
the microwave dinners and stuff like that. Small adjustments. Small adjustments can give you huge changes to losing weight and being healthy because so
Yes.
tell us, what did you have any other ailments that you were able to get some better results from having this
The
lifestyle change?
Absolutely. And the biggest one was GERD. It was acid reflux. I suffered from acid reflux all the time. I remember in 2016,
Wow.
I was on a cruise, a 7 day cruise with my sister for her 40th birthday. And every single day, I struggled all day, every day with acid reflux. It's actually the worst ever. And I kept
Wow.
thinking, what am I eating? On the cruise ship, your breakfast to me as a Seventh day Adventist, breakfast is limited because there's so many pork, bacon, and sausages and pork everywhere, just pork all around you, So I would eat mostly an omelet, a fresh cracked egg omelet, and with maybe some spinach. But and then there were some hash browns. Now the hash browns I
Mm,
recognized had onions. And I love eating onions, and I love the
mm,
way onions flavored my food really well. But I found that I would have that onion just just sitting right on my chest
mm.
like all day, every day. From the morning I ate, from the minute I eat my breakfast till it was time to go to bed, and sometimes even in my sleep, I had really bad acid reflux. Now I could cook a whole onion in my plant-based diet and I have not one issue. Not one
Wow.
issue. So onion was not the
Wow.
issue. It was all of the animal products that I was consuming that caused this
Yeah.
whole issue. All this heaviness I feel in my stomach after I eat that would make me so uncomfortable is no longer there. And that was
Mm.
the first thing I noticed. That plus my skin, and that kept me going beyond 21 days.
Mm.
Absolutely. I did not want to
So
stop.
it took you beyond 21 days to 31 days, and now it's a lifestyle choice that you made
Yes,
to eat healthy. What
it's
What
a
about your family?
lifestyle
How is your
choice.
family adjusting to this new lifestyle diet?
So, every now and then my husband will come home with a plate of oxtail from somewhere that he purchased. And every night, and sometimes I make sure I have some fish in the house. So I make sure make some type of fish dinner. He eats my plant-based food and he enjoys it. But honestly, he did not sign up on this journey to be full
Right.
time, on a plant-based diet full time. And so I don't push it because it's not like when I fix a plant-based diet he doesn't eat. He will eat his food and he'll tell me
Yeah.
that it's great. As a matter of fact, last week I decided that I was gonna make, and I've made vegan burgers before, but I decided I was gonna make a mushroom burger. I said every time I cook my mushrooms
Mm.
within my vegetables, I have a stir fry that I like to eat for lunch, and I always add some mushroom, and that mushroom gives me a nice little texture that I have some cut up meats or something in there. So I figured that would give me a more burger taste than my black bean burger would sometimes just have more of a mushy taste. So I decided I was gonna make a mushroom burger. So I did.
Mm.
I in my own little mind came up with sauteing my mushrooms with the onions and the pepper and seasoning it up really good.
Mm.
Saute it real quick, put it in my food processor, do a couple of pulse, and then add in some quinoa to it and a little bit of chickpea
Mm.
flour to kind of
Something I can try.
together. Yes, and it came out really good. I made a little sauce. It looked like a burger. It looked like it came off the grill. And so I just, put it in a bun with some lettuce, tomatoes, and a little mayo for him. And I he was working from home. I served it to him as he was on the phone, speaking to one of his colleagues and setting up some meetings. And I was watching him because he was talking on the phone. I just watched him, and he took a bite, and he was like, and he was eating and not even realizing he was saying, because maybe if I had told him it was a mushroom burger, he would have probably declined to try. So when he got off the phone, I was like, "How was it?" He's gonna say, "Oh, it was okay." I said, "No, no, 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 no. That was more than okay. I heard the that you were." So it's been fun creating different things. It's been really fun, actually. I've been thinking about starting a little YouTube channel of my own, sharing
Yeah.
my recipes and stuff so I can help others who want to take a plant-based journey for health or weight loss or different reasons, whatever the reasons are. It helped me to find the people who share different things, and I tried different things, I added different things, and I got ideas for something else from watching other people. So I wouldn't mind sharing,
Yeah.
what I know as well, in order to help
Hmm.
someone else's journey become better.
Yeah. So I would really like to challenge the listeners. I know we have a few more minutes, and I want to ask you about how do you get kids, like you have a son. How do you get young kids adjusted to if they're used to eating meat and stuff like that, and you want to transition them to a plant-based diet. But I want to encourage the listeners. And I think I'm gonna post on my website restorelifewellness.com. I'm gonna try to get that Daniel challenge. Um, the men not, it's not a menu, but it's like a food list that helps you to see what kinds of foods you can partake of and what kind of foods you should eliminate. Try it for 21 days. It's pretty simple. I've done it. I know sometimes it can be hard because you might forget. Just like you're so used to going out and eating out, and before you know it, you're eating something like, oh, I wasn't supposed to eat that in the 21
Right.
days. But you pick up and you keep going, and you watch your body transform. Not just your body, but like Stacey mentioned, the ailments, the allergies and the GERD went away. So these are things that can be helped. I know people who had like major changes in diabetic readings. Their blood sugar went down just because they changed their diet. They made adjustments within 21 days. Actually, some people start seeing results even before that. So we know that this lifestyle change can really have huge rewards for our health,
Mhm.
for our well-being. Our mind is clearer because we don't have all that stuff piled up in our colon, and we're backed up and all that stuff. It helps you go to the bathroom too because guess what? You're having a lot of
I
fiber.
was about to interject and tell you that I've always been constipated ever since I was a child. And it's one of those things that people will say it's too much information, so you really don't talk about it. But I struggle, 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 struggle,
Thanks for
struggle, struggle with
sharing.
that. And I tell you that I have no more constipation issue. It's been
Woo!
actually
That's
wonderful.
exciting.
And yes, and then um also it was one of the smoothies that I came across that I've been using as well. As it turns out, I am prone to have lower blood pressure. Like my blood pressure is always so normal. When I went to the doctor a couple of times, during 2020, and my blood pressure was 93 over 50. It was crazy. Like that, it had my
Mm.
blood pressure lowered. So if you're a person with hypertension, what's to it? If you're already in a bad spot health wise, so you can only get better from it. It
You have nothing
definitely
to
is a
lose.
blood
You have
pressure
nothing to
lowering
lose.
because once your digestive tract is clear a lot of times, you will see so much difference in your blood pressure and your blood sugar and all of that. So it's very good. That was another thing I definitely
Yeah.
experienced,
So
a clear
so can you
digestion.
touch on were you able to get your son involved in the plant-based eating as well, or was he rejecting that?
No, my son actually loves my food. The thing is, don't just throw something on a plate. Don't just put some lettuce on a plate. Don't just put some rice and some cabbage on a plate. You know, try to make the food extra tasty. Try to put your heart and soul
Mm.
into it. Make your plant based diet, your plant based dishes soul food. You know what I mean? Trying to make it soulful, just like you would
Yeah.
make the turkey wings and all of that stuff. You just do the
Right.
same thing. So my
Yeah.
son, I will just do a sauteed beans, butter beans, or Great Northern beans. I just do a
Mm.
stir fry beans and vegetables. My son eats that. He'll eat everything. He doesn't complain. My husband will be the one to complain the most because he loves his food and he loves his food a certain way. And the fact that
Right.
he could say, honestly, it tasted great is the reason
Mm.
why he did not complain
Yeah.
about not having, I made his favorite soup. Red Jamaican red pea soup. They usually people have like oxtail and salt beef, and some people do pigtail, and it's different varieties of that in Jamaica. And I would make that without meat and have him saying to me, I tell you, each time I come up with a spoonful, I'm looking to find a piece of oxtail because it certainly tastes like it's some oxtail in here. So you still have to put your heart
That's
and
great.
soul
I mean,
into what
that's
you're doing.
wonderful.
Don't just put anything
I
on the
just want to say
table. That's
thank
how you
you.
get your kids to eat and your
Yeah,
family to
yeah. Make
eat.
it make
Is
it
to cook
palatable, right?
well.
Make it tasty.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
yeah. Make it
Exactly.
palatable. That's the
That's
key
the main
for
thing.
this lifestyle adjustment. You know,
Mhm.
you can eat
Mhm.
healthy and not be missing in flavor. I mean, I cook tons of different types of food. I cook, Indian food. I cook, Asian food. I cook Caribbean food, all without meat. I
Yes.
actually just did some curried butter beans and some vegetarian beef in there.
Uh,
And that was
mm.
great. A whole pound of beans was done in like a night.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I'm telling
it
you.
definitely is a lifestyle adjustment. Huh?
Yes. Absolutely.
So,
I
I want to
love the curried
challenge,
I
our
love curried
listeners
butter
that
beans. So,
yes, it was good. You can put some
mhm.
vegetarian sausage in there and curry that thing. Eat it over some rice and peas. It was good.
Yes.
Yeah, so folks, the thing is, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Your DNA might be something that you got from your parents, but your diet and your lifestyle is what pulls that trigger for something to happen in your body that would cause you to develop diseases and things like that. So my challenge is, and I'm going to put it on the website, restorelifewellness.com. I'm going to put it, the Daniel 21-day challenge, to try to, in 21 days. A lot of times we try to do it at the beginning of the year, but we're going to we're gonna have folks just doing it whenever because we need to be healthy and we need to be healthy 365 days a year. I'm gonna put it on there so you can, you can check it out and join that challenge. Take it for 21 days. Try it. Try to make that adjustment. Don't have
Mhm.
your DNA from your family just be the deciding factor in your health. You decide by put what you put in your mouth to be healthy. So thank you for joining. Thank you, Stacy, so much for sharing your
Thank
testimony with us.
you.
It was wonderful. Looking forward to your YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, we could probably do something on this channel. We could probably do like a live kitchen thing. That'll be exciting.
Okay.
Folks, have a good rest of the week. God bless you, and we'll talk next week. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.